All right, down to your paint hop. Obviously, not the way you wanted your car to look in the middle of this race. Walk me through what happened.
Oh, well, I was working on Matt Snyder in the 15, and I saw him slip up in the corner, so I got to his inside, and we saw that side coming in here. I don't know if he sent it too much or if he just thought he had the lane there, but I mean, I was clearly right beside him, and he must have locked his tires up because I could hear screeching, and he made contact, and we just went straight into the wall, went up on the side. And I'm just really disappointed because this Eclipse has done so well this year, but hopefully there's not too much damage on it. We'll be back. Obviously very disappointed about this early in the run.
Very disappointed painting hop.
All right, thank you, Kyler. And good job being in the right place at the right time, and that kind of gives you an idea. You know, some may think of these type of classes, it's kind of, you know, the feeder class, if you will, but these guys take this really serious, and they've got a lot of emotion.
Oh, and Hop did a great job. You could tell he was agitated. He wanted to say some things, but he kept himself under control, and obviously a very smart, in-control young man. So
very impressive.
I'm guessing that he's part of that Hop racing family, boat racing family, so maybe he's seen some of those incidents before. So
and here comes, there's a 16 car, Peyton Hop, back on the track. So good job by our tow trucks and our removing, getting him off there. And yeah, it doesn't, well, we're going to find out here in just a few seconds when we get this thing back under green if there's some significant damage to him. But look at them. They're lined up side by side, the 15 and the 16, to start this off. But I think Peyton's got a pretty good head on his shoulders, and he'll try and keep
our
that thing
points
out of
leaders
trouble.
are running 6th, 7th, and 8th. So they're all together right there. So if they can keep this up, and there's your point leader right there. Speaking of it, that's Dawson Cox. Reach down, going to grab a gear, and heads on down.
And look at that a different driving suit, too, for Dawson Cox. And I believe that is one of Malcolm Lindbergh's old driving suits,
You're
too.
exactly right.
So the Cox family paying tribute to a longtime friend. The Lindbergh family and the Cox family are thick as thieves. And I know the passing of Malcolm has really been, it's been pretty tough on a lot of people out here, and myself included. Sad to hear, but Malcolm, we love you, and always think about you with that smile of yours. And
Dawson Cox, a points leader. He's got Corbett on his outside. Just saw him disappear. That's John Newbaum, who is currently second in points, right dead in front of him. So Dawson's going to work really, really hard to get by Newbaum in that 13 car, because every one of those spots means more points. A little bit further he pulls away in the championship chase.
He's got using that transmission, going from second to third quite a bit as he takes it down into second to slow it down as he goes into that quick transition point in between turn 3 of the 5th mile and the turn 3 of the 3/8.
Third gear.
There he is. That's where he'll keep it until he has to get on the brakes there as they get to the end of the 5th mile flat track. And we have got 13 down out of 50 here at Home Track Heroes at Evergreen Speedway. Hornet Nationals, big night. Nice shot. Oh, that's so cool. As they go down into that short chute, that transition point between the flat track and the banked 3/8. So kind of, you got to be careful, I would think, going into that.
Well, we saw what happened to Peyton Hop when he ran out of a little real estate there.
Yeah.
You know, not of his doing, but had some assistance, and it wasn't too, you know, up over the top of that, head down in the creek there. So you don't want to do that. But a great battle going on, and you take a look at that. You've got Newbaum, who's right in front of Dawson Cox, and Corbett, who's fallen back to 9th. He's going to want to get that thing rolling to keep himself in that points battle.
Tanner Emery continues to impress in the early stages of our Hornet Nationals, brought to you by Interstate Batteries. Blaine Manning in the second spot. Bobby Fisher, Calvin Miller, and John Newbaum continue to run well. That's your top 5. And another great shot. But what I was thinking was when they make that left-hand turn and they get onto the banking, that's got to be kind of a bit of an odd transition. And it's got to feel kind of weird the first couple times you get into it. Keeping an eye for our points leader in the 54X, Brendan Terrio, who's really had a breakthrough season this year.
Yeah, I got to correct myself. I've been talking about Dawson Cox being the points leader. He's been out of that car for a race or two. So Terrio is the points leader,
There
and
you
that's
go.
all on me. So sorry about that.
I'm sure Dawson is leading in points somewhere. I mean, that kid's too good not to.
Yeah, but Brendan, I don't want Brendan mad at me because he's been working his butt off all years. So, we'll just keep this thing going.
There we go. Peyton Hops looks like he has got that car back under control as he has gotten from the back of the field, having to go back because of being involved in what happened a few laps ago. But doesn't look like too much damage on that one. Look at the... thought that was going to be John Newbaum making a nice move down on the inside, and it looks like it was. As Tanner Emery still leads this thing. As we were working lap number 18.
Which means how many left?
Quickly.
32.
18:32. Thank you.
Okay, good.
Wow. That was impressive.
I can't make that change, but I have to do that. As a spotter, you got to know how many to go. When your driver starts yelling at me, how many more?
It's that quick math.
That's right.
Every time.
Well,
good battle for second
fortunately,
spot.
they don't run more than about 150, 200 laps, because after that, you'd be lost,
That's how high I could count. Good battle for second spot shaping up there as we saw that shot just leading into this one. I like this camera shot too.
Yeah.
Coming down the short stretch as we see Tanner Emery come across the line to complete lap number 19, working on 20. Let's go see what Calvin Miller's up to.
He grabbed the gear there. You saw him doing that. Working pretty hard inside that race car. That net to his left, that was designed years ago to keep body parts, appendage, especially that arm, inside the race car. If that thing should get up on its side or upside down, you don't want that arm out there because there's a chance that it could get badly damaged. So they came up with that net. It also helps keep your head inside the race car if you should happen to slap the wall with that driver's side. So that's the point of that net. You can see his drink bottle holder behind him. It's kind of a reddish thing with a white top, and there's a clear plastic hose blowing in the wind right now. Under the yellow, each ever grabs that, sticks it in his mouth, and as I said earlier, takes a big suck out of 3-week-old Gatorade or whatever it might be.
Continue to go down that road. Look at this battle.
It's the truth, man.
Dawson Cox in the 7D on the inside, and the 49 car up on the outside. And 49 is Calvin Miller doing a nice job. In fact, a shot of what it looks like inside as he shifts it down into third gear and around the corner on that long turn. But man, it is all Tanner Emery by about 15 car lengths now as they head down into turn one. Dawson Cox in the second spot. Blaine Manning. Well, no, wait, that's true. Yeah, Dawson's moved up into the third spot right around Calvin Miller.
Your points leader, Brendan Theriot, in the fifth spot, followed by Fisher. The second place in points, that's John Newbaum in the 13th car. He's currently running 7th. Jamie Corbett, 8th. He is the number 3 man in the season-long points battle. And then you have Dan Miller and Steve Hatch rounding out the top 10.
Jamie Corbett with that really familiar-looking paint scheme. He runs that scheme, has done it for many years, and that's, for what we do, it's always cool to see that consistency because that helps us pick them out a lot quicker when we need to. But he's just had another Jamie Corbett type of season. Currently in third place in points as we came into action tonight. In the Interstate Battery Hornet Division for their feature race of 2020, the 50 laps. We're coming up on the halfway point here. This time by, it will be Tanner Emery, Blaine Manning, and Dawson Cox.
Steve, I don't know if we'll get a chance to see, but if we get a chance to see the flagman, he will have the 2 flags crossed, and he's holding them. He's just leaning out. Not a great shot of that, but the cross flags tell that driver that they're halfway there, and then you might see a 10, when they get their 2 hands up there, the flagman will help you. There also is a scoreboard here at Evergreen Speedway, so depending on whether you have a spotter or as a driver, if you get a chance, you may take a quick glance at that scoreboard to know exactly how many laps. But if you race long enough, you kind of start to know where you are in this. Here's Brendan Theriot with some great in-car footage. You can see the switches, they're lighted. There's a gauge right there. Got his hand on the gear shift lever, driving to just one hand, making it look pretty darn easy.
And doing a nice job of it, too.
They got a fan on the front window. That's when they race in the rain to try and keep the thing from fogging up, like your car does every once in a while. That's the purpose of that fan. He's probably not running it today it doesn't work very good as an air conditioner.
And Dawson Cox now, as he is taking a look underneath Tanner Emery in the 70. And we'll have a new leader, it looks like, when we go. Well, I better back that up a little bit, as Emery had the preferred line going into that short shoot turn. But Dawson Cox came out of the left-hander in fine primo fashion as he's racing. He's got the white hood on his number 7D Interstate Battery Hornet in honor of Malcolm Lindbergh, and a lot of coolness happening there with Dawson Cox as we are coming up on lap number 29. We'll have 20 laps to go as they come around on the transition point between the 5th mile and the 3/8. Tanner Emery now in the 2nd spot, followed by Blaine Manning, Calvin Miller, Brendan Terrio, our points leader, make up your top 5. Bobby Fischer, John Newbaum, Jamie Corbett, Dan Miller, and Steve Hatch make up the top 10.
There's a lot of youth in this division too. Peyton Hopp, just 22 years out of Monroe. He drives a Mitsubishi, which is not the preferred car here. You see a lot of Acura Integras in this field. But you see there's Ryan Hausenfeld, just 15 years old. You know, so there's a youth movement here also. Dylan Fraser, I don't believe he's here today, just 14 years old. And then there's some of the veterans. I noticed one of the drivers put his occupation as a beer truck driver, so you imagine what that's like. As they go 30 laps, just 20 more laps, put them in the books. Right now, it looks like it may be another Dawson Cox victory, but Tanner Emery doing a great job of hanging in there. We've got a spin in turn 1.
It is the number 77 of Christian Miller. Tell you what, we're going to take a break, get this cleaned up. We're going to come back, wrap this thing up. Home Track Heroes.